I now have 14 years, almost 14 years clean, and my life is truly, I'm living my best life, beyond my wildest dreams. So I put a gun to my head, I pulled the trigger, boom, shot my TV at 4 a.m, and I wake up the next day. That realization hit me that I almost killed myself, over this addiction because I was miserable. My name is Keith Moore. Hear my story. The night where I almost took my life, it's still very emotional here, almost 14 something years later. To think that I almost did that to myself. And then to turn around and look at where I am now it's a lot of emotions all in one. It's joy, it's sadness, it's gratitude. I'm extremely grateful that, God put me through that I was given this gift of addiction, and I can pass it on and help other people through this. My story is about addiction. My mom is an addict. My grandpa died an addict. Coincidentally, my wife and my father-in-law are all addicts. We come from a long line of addicts, and I was born an addict. Had a good upbringing, even though, through this addiction, parents were good. And, once they got clean, they started using again. They burned it all to the ground right around the same time that I started using drugs. And just like it brought them to their knees, addiction brought me to my knees. I no longer wanted to live. I was a shell of a human being. Had nothing to offer anyone in this world, spiritually bankrupt, miserable, wanted to die, tried to take my life. By the grace of God, I was saved. In those moments of despair, I had, a spiritual awakening. I saw clearly and I got clean. So what stood out most to me in the moment of sharing my story was, I truly believe that, God puts people in our life, and God speaks through people, right? So, God may have been speaking through you, and I believe that God speaks through me, in my story, right? When I share it to those who want to listen. So I am always extremely grateful to share my story and to share what I have, because somebody did that for me when I was first getting clean, when I was first coming back to God. God spoke through somebody else. So hearing people's stories and being someone that shares their story is a great gift, and I think that stood out the most to me. Me and my wife were newly married, and we were going through it. We had heard this from therapists and stuff, but you think that you get married and then it's all like roses and everything's gonna be good. But it was quite the opposite for us. It became very, very challenging, to be married and to navigate being married. So people didn't see a lot of that, but we were going through it pretty heavily. And we're amazing now. So just to throw that in there. What I felt about seeing my story shared publicly was I was happy about it. I thought it was great, because like I said, before, I believe God speaks through people, and I would just hope that sharing my story would help maybe reach someone. One of those 20,000 people, even if it just reaches one, right? That's one life saved. Where am I at today? So when I shared my story originally, I was a fairly new realtor. Me and my wife started on a journey. We had a couple halfway houses where we helped people struggling with addiction, come out of treatment and give them a safe place to live so that they can be successful and stay clean. That has grown into a huge organization. We own 13 halfway houses at this point. We have almost 100 people under our care at any given time. And it has become the biggest blessing of my life. God has turned my addiction, this ugly part of my life, and turned it into my purpose and given me an avenue where we can we help people on a daily basis, right? And it's also provided us a way to make a living as well. It's a huge blessing, the biggest blessing of my life. I mean, I'm proud of the successful businesses that we've built and all of that. I'm so proud of the people that we help, but I think most proud. This has been This past year has been probably one of the most challenging years of my recovery. With 13 years clean, one of the most challenging. It was one of the most challenging financially, spiritually, in my marriage, health-wise. I had some health issues, a bunch of things. But I think what I'm most proud of is that, it took me a couple months this year of living in woe is me and why is my life like this, to surrendering it all back to God and giving it all up and choosing to live my life in faith once again. And God restored me and He gave me my faith back. I feel like He healed me. My marriage is better than it's ever been. We're in an outstanding financial position, better than we've ever been. And so what I'm most proud of is that I feel like I am living in God's purpose for my life right now. I am still working on, it's a daily journey, waking up and choosing to live in faith, right? To do the next right thing and to try and serve other people before I serve myself, and to fulfill God's purpose for my life. It's a daily journey. What does hope look like for me now? I live my life every day in hope, nonstop. If I didn't have hope, I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I don't know if I have a good answer to that question, except that hope is what, my life is so good today, and even on the bad days, because of what I've been through, I know that it will get better. Just like the cliche saying is, it's always darkest right before the dawn. We all have heard that, and we all know it's true. The struggles that we walk through, the pain that we walk through, is what makes it all worth it, because there's victory on the other side of it and growth on the other side of it. So hope is what gets me through those times. When I shared earlier that I feel like I'm living in God's purpose for my life, before I was chasing nothing. I was just chasing money, like through real estate and through other avenues. But now I know that by helping people and by doing what we do, no matter what happens, like, we will be taken care of. And it's not like my purpose is these houses. It's to grow this as big as I can and to help as many people as I can, right? Like I said, I don't know if it's the real estate. Like, I don't know. But I know that I'm supposed to be doing this and helping people. That I know with all my heart. If I could talk to my former self who originally shared this story, I would say to focus on what really matters, because what you currently think really matters doesn't, right? So to focus on your faith, to focus on your family, to focus on your relationships, to focus on God, right? These are the things that really matter. And if you live your life in service of those things, there's nothing that can happen to you that you cannot get through.